Good morning, everyone. This is Tony from her Homestead Skills, and coming to you with another video on food preservation. I was out and about with Mark over the weekend. He wanted to go to a show at a small town, and I of course was invited and decided to go with him. And after the show, he graciously took me to the thrift shop in that small town, which is always going to be different from the thrift shops that we have locally here. And we also found an antique mall. So I did buy something at the Goodwill in that particular town, and then in the antique mall we spent quite a bit of time, and I did purchase something there as well. So I'll be showing you those in another video. Just to lighten things up a little bit, but today's video is going to be on more food preservation, and specifically I've had a lot of comments on my preserving flour video, putting it in the freezer, like vacuum sealing it and putting it in the freezer. A lot of you have stated that you use a brown paper bag so as to not damage the food saver, so that the flour goes directly into the brown paper bag and then it's vacuum sealed and you get a good hard seal. And others have stated that you do use the Ziploc bags, but you just don't pinch that last seal so that all the air can be sucked out of the Ziploc bag as well. So I thought I was going to try both methods today and see how I like them, and apparently these do not have to go into the freezer. At least that's what my subscribers tell me, that they don't have to go in the freezer once they're done. Yes, that you would want to put them in the freezer for 3 days to kill any eggs or anything that might be in the flour. So I'm going to do some of both that method and let you know what my feelings on it are. As well, I was told that yes, it is best to freeze my yeast. Now, this is a fairly substantial 32 ounce, 2 pounds of yeast that I bought at Costco, and I bought another one of these a while back, and I probably have half of it left, maybe not quite that much, but it is kept in a mason jar in the fridge at all times, so that one's kept cool. So I will put this one in the freezer. As for number of people's recommendations, I don't see any harm in that, and I'm sure I could find enough space to put this little block in the freezer. So, okay, I do have another 22-pound bag of flour, and if I'm happy with the end results, I may go out and buy another larger bag and process that as well. Based on a lot of the things that I'm hearing, you probably can't have too much flour in your home today. All right, let's get started. Okay, first things first, I do have my Ziploc bags. I have a package of brown paper lunch bags. I have my plastic container and my big bag of flour. And I'm going to cut this open, and for the time being, save this, as it tells me what the best before date on this is. So let's, here. Okay, yeah, so let's just cut this open, and I will label my packages when I'm done. I think I'm going to start off with my brown paper bags. Let's adjust this camera first. Okay, and I'm going to use a smaller scoop. I think my big one would just be too large for this. Now, these brown paper bags are not the most expensive kind. I just bought them at the dollar store, but hopefully they'll do the trick. So, and I'm going to use this plastic container to catch any drops of flour. So here we go. And perhaps I should weigh this to see how much I put in each bag. Might be not a bad idea. but I don't know that it makes any difference because I'll probably just split the bags open and put it into a 1 gallon jar when I need flour. Now, people have asked about flour going rancid, and some say that it never does, and others say that it goes rancid pretty fairly quickly. You can tell by the smell, mostly. And when you open up a fresh bag of flour, it should have a very pleasant aroma. Now, something that's gone rancid will lose that. It'll be a little bit musty and stale smelling. So it's not the most appealing, but it's still, if push came to shove, you wouldn't starve. Okay, so I've got a fair amount in this bag. I'm going to, let's see, first I'm going to fold it over. And it should make a nice little, looks like about a 2 to 3 pound, 2.5, 3 pound package. So hopefully I'm going to cut a bag that'll be large enough to hold this. That's always a guesstimation until you get the first 1 or 2 done. Oh yeah, and this bag is plenty big enough. Now, I'm going to go get a marker so that I can label this before I vacuum seal it. Okay, so I've decided in this scenario, rather than using the marker, I made up little labels that say all-purpose flour, best before date according to the bag, and I'm just going to slip it in to my package here before I vacuum seal it. And here we go. Looks like it's sealed nice and hard, just like coffee in the brick when you buy it. And I have my labeled product, so I know what's in this brown paper bag, because obviously that's one of the worst issues. So I think I'm going to do this whole bag of flour with brown paper bags and just save my Ziploc bags for something else. I have some beans I have to process, and we'll see which method I use, but this one seems to be working nicely, and it makes a nice square brick. So if I can keep them into nice square bricks, it might be easier to package them. So I'm going to move right along here and pack up some more of this. And these bags, as I said, are not the best of quality. I certainly remember them being a lot stronger than this, but that's not the most critical feature, because the bag is just to prevent the vacuum sealer from sucking up flour into the motor and getting destroyed. And it seems to be working to do that. Okay. Now, I'm not one to say you have to do things my way. There is more than one way to skin the cat, and whatever works for you, and not, you know, people may object to your methods or my methods, but if it works for me or for you, I really don't care what other people think. So, I don't get too uptight about that kind of thing. If somebody tells me that their way, they do something a certain way, well, consider it and see if it's worthwhile for me to use that method, like I'm doing here with these brown paper bags. And if I don't think so, I'll just ignore it and keep doing things my own way. And I'm going to just put that aside for the time being and fill up another bag. Might be able to get 3 filled up in this container before I have to vacuum seal. Yes, I should. Okay. Moving right along then. It's definitely more economical to use the paper bag that I paid $1.25 for a pack at Dollar Tree. Yes, I bought these at Dollar Tree. So, and yes, our Dollar Tree has not gone up in price. I understand in the U.S. they've changed the prices to $1.25. Well, because of our Canadian dollar, it was always $1.25. But so far, the Dollar Tree that's local to me has not changed their pricing. I was a little surprised to hear that when I heard that they raised the prices in the U.S. But we'll see. It likely will go up here as well. One thing I did notice though is that they're starting to carry items that cost more than $1.25. And I think that they were missing out on a huge market by not doing so, because Dollarama is growing by leaps and bounds here. It's huge. It does very well, and I think they sell things even up to $5. Mostly up to $4, not so much $5, but not everything is $1 anymore. At Dollarama, as a matter of fact, very little is $1 anymore. Okay, so I've got 3 packages here ready to be vacuum sealed. And I'm going to do that before I go any further. Cool. I think I don't mind this at all. Might be my preferred method in the end. Okay, so I ended up with 6 packages of flour. I have no idea what the weight is. I could probably try them. They're not exactly the same. They're all a little bit different. Okay, let's zero that out. Okay. 3 pounds, 5.9 ounces. 3 pounds, 5. 3 pounds, 5. Pretty much mostly the same. I think one's going to be larger though. 3 pounds, 10. 3 pounds 5. And this one is the biggie. 3 pounds 12. Okay, and I did end up with just a little bit of flour left over, about 15 ounces. So this is going to go into my bigger jar that I use before anything else. I might as well. And those will get put into a large bin and kept in the coolest place I can. Okay, that's it for this video. Hopefully you found it interesting and entertaining, and you might want to try this method. To me, it seems like definitely worthwhile. It reminds me of my coffee packets that I've got vacuum sealed, hard as a rock. And that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed this video, and hopefully you'll return for the next one. Have a great day.